The crepe myrtle is such a popular landscape tree, and behind us are some beautiful specimens as we stand in front of the convention center with Anthony Whittington, who is the city's urban forester. Welcome, Anthony.
Thank you. Thank you.
These are some pretty awesome specimens behind us, right?
They really are. They're pruned the right way. They're pruned, like the city likes to see it, and as you drive around town, you see a lot of these on display around town.
Yes, and when they are beautifully pruned, I mean, they are showstoppers even when they have no blooms on them.
Absolutely.
Because we're filming this in mid-March when it's a good time to talk about pruning crepe myrtle trees, isn't it?
Correct. Late winter to around usually spring break is a good time to prune these crepe myrtles.
Mm-hmm. Now I understand that you have assembled 8 good reasons why you should prune your tree correctly, or conversely, why you should not butcher your crepe myrtle tree.
Correct.
Which is also a common sight.
Unfortunately, we see a lot of it around not only Hot Springs, but around a lot of places we see it.
So Anthony, you've actually sent us some pictures of some crepe myrtle trees that look awful. What's happened here?
Those trees unfortunately were topped. That is it's a cost-effective way to just go straight over the top. If you're trying to lower the canopy height of a tree, it's a quick way. It's not the correct way, but it's an easy, quick method. If you have a lot of them to do, you'll see a lot of those around town. People just going across and just making a horizontal cut of the tree.
My goodness. So if you're pruning incorrectly, you can actually introduce disease, right? How does that happen?
Okay, when you make a lot of cuts, like I said, only a third of the tree you're supposed to prune each year. Each one of those open wounds invites disease, invites insects in, and it's like our human body. If you have too many wounds, it can't recover itself. So once decay sits in, unfortunately, there's no cure for it.
So can a tree get so bad as to eventually die?
Right. If there's already a stress in the tree before you top it, it can ultimately die. A lot of times it will recover itself. It'll been good up to put those new shoots out and recover itself. But if there's already a disease in from the years past, or if it's been injured in some way, it can ultimately die.
Oh, my goodness. So then you lose a tree. That can be costly, right?
Absolutely.
To have to replace it?
Absolutely. The cost to replace a mature crepe myrtle can be devastating on the wallet. And they come in all shapes, sizes, colors, but ultimately a pretty mature one can be costly.
Well, people don't think about the cost of replacing a tree.
Unfortunately
That's
not.
all the more reason to prune correctly.
Correct.
Which is something they can learn from you, right?
Right.
You
Exactly.
can always give them tips.
Yes.
One of the benefits, too, that we haven't mentioned about crepe myrtle trees is they come in so many different colors and sizes, don't they?
They do. They come all the way from the small dwarf size, which are 4 to 6 foot, all the way up to some that get 16 to 20 foot high. Reds, whites, pinks, purples, all different colors.
Mm-hmm. Well, now that we've addressed the specific issues with the crepe myrtle and how to prune it correctly and what happens if you don't, what about topping trees in general? Is that ever a good practice?
Never a good practice. Utility, around utility poles, sometimes it's absolutely necessary that you have to do that. But in the general private public sector, no. Take an oak tree, for example. If you top an oak tree that is a large over canopy tree in the forest, not only are you shocking the oak tree by topping it, but you're opening up sunlight, which also is now affecting that understory tree. So that dogwood under that oak tree is now receiving more sunlight than it's supposed to. So you're not only affecting the tree you just cut, but you're also affecting other trees as well.
Well, that sounds like an excellent reason not to top a tree.
Right.
We just don't want to go there.
Right.
Now, on Twitter, you're known as Spa City Lorax. Is
Correct.
that right?
Correct.
So tell us about Tree Tuesday as we wrap up.
Tree Tuesday is, we have a sign that we put around town, the Urban Forestry Division Tree of the Week. We put it on social media every Tuesday. We call it, we do the hashtag Tree Tuesday on Twitter. We also have a Facebook account, Urban Forestry City of Hot Springs. And so each week we select a tree. This week happens to be the Eastern Red Cedar. And so you'll see that's over there off of Family Park where you'll see that sign.
And these are all native trees that you're highlighting.
Yes, correct.
Wonderful. You can learn so much by hanging around this guy. Thank you so much for joining us today, Anthony.
Thank you.
And now, next time you've got an important topic to educate the public about, let's do another segment.
Absolutely.
And next week, we'll bring you more city news.